Hi, team. Welcome to Fresh's next professional development series of our Brain Boost pilot program. Megan Oakley here to share with all of you the feedback that we collected on last month's two activities. So roll the dice fitness and then rock, paper, scissors versus computer. And so thank you to everyone who completed the survey and shared your thoughts and opinions on each of the strategies. As usual, we've got some really great suggestions and areas for improvement that our team will be looking at working on. And so let's just dive right into it. So for Roll the Dice Fitness, a lot of folks just said adding more slides to the slide deck would be super helpful. And that's certainly something that we can take on our end. And also to reorder the slides often, that kids had kind of picked up on the order in which the slides were appearing, and it became a little bit redundant. Modifications. So if certain students were struggling with some of the exercises, depending on the classroom level that you're working with, and or space constraints, which continue to be something that comes up with these brain boost activities, that finding ways to do modifications could help with that. And so one of the things that we can do if we're looking at adding more slides in the slide deck is being mindful of activities that might be more friendly to space constraints. One teacher suggested possibly incorporating some yoga moves so that folks are a little bit more in their own stationary place, but still moving. If having enough room to do some of these is an issue, yoga moves might be a nice way to mix it up. Another modification someone suggested was to roll the die for the first time, and that would be the number of reps for the exercise, and then roll the die and the second time, and that would be the activity that was done for that first roll's number of reps. I really loved this one. So we know that when these activities, whether it's the calming and refocusing, the brain boost, we know that the older the kids get, the harder it can be to sell them on these being useful exercises. And so one of the high school modifications that was shared with us was that during not so much active classroom learning time, like during lessons, but when they were more on like independent study time, the teacher kept the dice near the trash can and encouraged students, if they had a piece of paper, to crumple it up every so often and try and shoot a basket in the trash can. If they missed the basket, they would go pick up the paper, put it in the trash can, and then roll the dice and do the exercise. And so that was just a fun way they found to kind of get the older high school age students involved. Um, and so let's see. Oh, another thing to keep in mind is that if movement activities, we know the brain boosts are meant to be a little bit more high energy, but if that's just not the right thing for your class in that moment, you can also use those dice and pair the rolls with some of those calming and refocusing activities that we did last year. And so a couple of the teachers mentioned that they did that. And so that's just a fun way to kind of have multiple options in your pocket with those dice. Another popular thing with this activity was just pairing it with math classes. And so some folks did take that extra step to include some curriculum components and using equations with the dice rolls as well as movement activities. And so that's super fun. So for our next strategy, rock, paper, scissors versus computer, some ways to modify. So a couple folks noted that the activities sort of required having the technology. But one way to modify could be either to use the game traditional rock, paper, scissors against teacher, or to use it against pairing off the students. And so if you don't have access to a computer, you can just kind of throw it back to traditional rock, paper, scissors. But then you do need to have some movement activities that correspond to win, lose, or tie. And so related to that, one of the things, again, and we can help with this on our end, is creating sort of a separate standalone slide that reminds students what to do when you win, what to do when you lose, and what to do when you tie. Quite a bit of feedback noted that because kids can be so competitive in nature, they got really into the whole rock, paper, scissors part of the game, but sort of forgot the goal was to be up and moving. And so having that visual of what to do after the rock, paper, scissors, shoot would be a good way to keep kids sort of in that moment of understanding that the goal isn't just to play the game, but to get up and to move. Loved this. So some of the students were quick to memorize the order of the slides. And so reorder the slides often was some of the feedback that we got, because the kids could figure out how to beat the computer after just a few rounds. And then, so that was really it for rock, paper, scissors versus computer. We'll let you know that the rock, paper, scissors element was really popular with a lot of folks, really loved that. And so just as a foreshadowing, we've got a couple more activities coming this year through our Brain Boost pilot that are very similar to rock, paper, scissors, just a little bit of an adaptation. And so hopefully those will be received just as well with your students. General feedback, and this is something that we'll continue to keep in mind as we look at future exercises, as well as the modifications that we make to these activities once we develop them into a full curriculum package, is just having a little bit more stationary and isometric movement to account for space constraints. The feedback definitely shows that the older the students get, the tighter classroom space gets. And I know a couple of you noted that you created some of your own activities or exercises to help manage that. And so I'll be reaching out to you all to just see if you'd be interested in sharing some of those so that we can get them out to a wider audience who may find them helpful as well. So that's really it for this month. Again, lots of really great feedback. We really appreciate you guys, taking the time, but also really digging deep and helping us understand what's working and what's not. And so we thank you. And at this point, I'm going to turn you over to Pam Heppard, and she's going to introduce November's next two Brain Boost strategies.
Hi, everyone. Before we get to the video of Amy and Kelly showing you the two strategies for this month, which are flashcard fitness and picture fitness, I did want to let you know that we do have something to send to you to accompany the flashcard fitness for this month. So in the video, you will see Amy using math flashcards and asking for, that you or the students to pick one of the numbers on that math flashcard to do that number of repetitions for an exercise. What we have done is we have created flashcards for you. On one side of the flashcard, instead of having a math problem, you'll see that we've just given you two numbers. You can simply do what Amy does, which is select one of the numbers and say, we're going to do this number of repetitions. Or you could connect some, an academic, item to this. You can use it in such a way to say, choose the higher number or lower number. You can do an addition, subtraction, multiplication of these two numbers. So that is up to you, but we wanted to make sure that everyone had something on hand in order to do that flashcard fitness. On the other side, we did make these two-sided. So on the other side, if you choose not to do a math problem with these and you would like some bigger numbers, we have also created just one large, number system from 1 to 25 is in the set. So you can just pick a number out, have a student pick a number out, and just do, use this side of the card to count your repetitions. So that's up to you, but these are coming in the courier to accompany the strategies for this week. If you have any questions about the strategies that you see, of course, shoot us an email. We're happy to help where we can or field those questions out to Amy and Kelly if necessary. So, watch the two that are coming up, and then, don't turn it off yet, because following the video of Amy and Kelly showing you those two strategies, I will be back with some wellness leader updates for kind of October, November timeframe.
Flashcard Fitness. This is the Flashcard Fitness Brain Boost exercise. This is designed to use numerical flashcards to increase movement in the classroom. For Flashcard Fitness, teachers will need a set of math flashcards such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division, and a computer to display the exercises. In this activity, students will identify numbers they see on the flashcard to complete exercises. The number they identify on the card determines how many times they complete the attached exercise. Students either return the flashcard to the teacher's bin or they can switch with another student. This activity continues until the teacher determines that the time is over.
Picture Fitness. This is the Picture Fitness Brain Boost, which is a way to get students up and moving with no equipment. Teachers can turn on the video and have students follow along. Each picture within the video is of a different activity. Have students use their imagination to act out the movements that they see. Students can choose to stand or stay seated to complete the activity.
Okay, I hope that you can find some use in those two strategies that were shown just now. Moving on, though, to some other updates, we did want to say or remind everyone that we are not going to introduce any new strategies in December. So in December is just kind of a use what you know, practice those strategies that we've gone through in September, October, and now November. However, we will send the survey for these latest two strategies, and that survey will go out on December 12th, that Monday. It will be due on that Friday. So you'll have that week to complete the survey for these strategies. We've had a number of people ask, if they've missed, this is a super busy time, if they've missed the window for completing the survey, if we can open it back up. We were able to do that a little bit last year because we were able to keep on hand an inventory of the incentive items. So we could open the survey back up and then, get your selection for your incentive and then put that in the query and get it right out to you. Just due to some changes in office usage and storage space, we are not able to store the incentives on hand anymore. So what happens is when that survey closes, we put an order in for those incentives and then get them to you when it comes in. So we are not able to reopen the surveys. I do want to say that this week we do have 2 live professional development workshops that we would love for you to promote within your schools. One of them is today at 4 p.m. at Marshall Middle School. It is a calming and refocusing workshop where Chris Gasly is going to be facilitating a discussion of that kind of kickoff information that we did last year with that science and reasoning behind all of these movement activities that we are piloting and calming and refocusing strategies that we did last year, and as well as going through those strategies with the participants. So today that workshop is at Marshall Middle at 4 p.m. and tomorrow on the 16th, that same workshop will be facilitated by Jen Bird at C. Hunter Ritchie. It is open to, both of them are open to any teachers within the system, not just Marshall and Ritchie teachers, anyone who can stop by and attend. We would love for them to pre-register through Frontline so we just knew kind of the numbers of who was attending, but walk-ins are absolutely welcome. So if anyone just kind of finds that time, that hour in their day where they think, I can make it, I think I'm going to head over there and do that, more than welcome. We will have extra handouts there. We'll be handing out a packet of the lesson plans and classroom accommodations, as well as having some bigger giveaways, that some posters and some other giveaways like door prize type things. But if by some chance there are more participants than we had printed packets, then certainly the facilitators will get those names to us and we will get those out to any teachers who attend. So please advertise them within your schools. The next thing is that just a reminder that the What's Fresh posters can be kept at your schools if you wish. We know that some schools are doing kind of a year-long board or wall within the cafeterias or somewhere that highlights all of the fresh foods that have been highlighted throughout the year, you are more than welcome to do that. If, however, you don't have space or, that it's just not something that your school is going to be doing at this time, please return those What's Fresh posters through courier to Fresh at Central Complex. And let's see, just a little kind of plug, and if you could also do that, is that we have our OTEC fitness classes up on our website. So if you are looking for a way, your colleagues are looking for a way to keep moving during this, busy holiday, season, then check those classes out. There are a lot listed for every ability level. If you go to the Fresh website, in the upper right-hand corner, there is a staff login. The login password is in this email that went out today. And, you can share that with all colleagues. This access is given to all Fauquier County employees, school and county employees. We just ask that when actually registering for the class on the link to register, that you use your Fauquier County email address so that they are identified as someone who's kind of part of this whole bigger group subscription that we're holding with them. So they are live Zoom workout classes. Please check them out. I think that is it for this month. If you have any questions, anything comes up, you want to clarify, please shoot us an email. And again, if any questions about the strategies for this month, then just, give a shout out, and either one of us on the Fresh team or maybe Amy or Kelly can weigh in on that. So take care, enjoy your Thanksgivings, and look for those surveys coming out mid-December. Thanks.